The first thing Marrakech does is overwhelm you. It is deliberate, it is ancient, and if you let it, it is magnificent. The moment you step outside the airport and into the Moroccan air, warm even in winter, carrying the faint scent of something burning, something floral, something unidentifiable, a sense arrives that you have not simply traveled to another country, you have traveled to another way of organizing the world. Marrakech is not a city that reveals itself immediately. It is a city that makes you work. The Medina, the old walled city, is a labyrinth of narrow alleys that seem designed to disorient. The sounds overlap: call to prayer, motorbike engines, sellers calling to passing strangers, music from somewhere inside a building with no windows. The colors are saturated: saffron, terracotta, cobalt, deep red. And slowly, if you give it time, the overwhelming becomes something else entirely, becomes richness. Marrakech Menara Airport sits a short distance from the city center, a taxi ride into the Medina that for first-time visitors begins the disorientation process early. The road narrows, the walls rise. Tiled archways frame glimpses of interior courtyards. Suddenly, there are no cars, and you are on foot with your luggage in an alley wide enough for one person and a loaded donkey. And a man on a motorcycle is coming toward you at speed, and somehow this is entirely normal. The Medina is divided into neighborhoods, each with its own character, its own specialties, its own particular rhythm. Getting lost is not a failure here. It is, in many ways, the point. Most Riads, the traditional inward-facing guest houses, have staff who will meet you at a nearby landmark and walk you through the maze. Follow them. Don't try to memorize the route your first day. Djemaa el-Fna is the living heart of Marrakech, a vast open square in the southern Medina that UNESCO recognized not as a monument, but as oral and intangible heritage. By day, it hosts orange juice sellers, snake charmers, musicians, henna artists, and acrobats. By evening, it transforms. Food stalls materialize from nowhere, clouds of smoke rising from grills, and the square fills with locals and visitors in roughly equal measure, all moving, eating, watching the performers who have claimed their territory here for centuries. It is chaotic, it is theatrical, it is genuinely one of the most remarkable public spaces on Earth. North of the square, the Souks begin, a network of covered market streets organized by trade. The dyers' quarter, the leather workers, the spice sellers, the lantern makers. The spice stalls alone are worth the trip. Mounds of turmeric, cumin, rose petals, and dried lavender arranged like a painter's palette. Negotiation is expected, rushing is not. One of the pleasures of Marrakech is the contrast between outside and inside. The streets are dense, loud, and sensory, but step through a low wooden door into a traditional riad, and everything changes. A central courtyard open to the sky, a fountain playing quietly, orange trees in bloom, and the sound of the city reduced to a murmur beyond the walls. Riads are architectural philosophy made livable. The belief that the most important things happen inside, away from the world's gaze. Majorelle Garden offers something different. 12 acres of botanical calm, created by the French painter Jacques Majorelle in the 1920s, and later purchased and restored by Yves Saint Laurent. The garden's famous cobalt blue buildings, a blue so intense it was trademarked as Majorelle blue, contrast dramatically with the green of the bamboo groves and cacti. It is crowded midday and revelatory in the quiet of opening time. The Bahia Palace, built in the late 19th century for a former Grand Vizier, offers room after room of intricate tilework, carved cedarwood ceilings, and painted plasterwork. A testament to the craft traditions that still survive in the city's artisan quarters. Marrakech teaches patience through ritual. The hammam, the traditional bathhouse, operates at a pace the rest of the city sometimes doesn't. An hour of steam, kessa scrubbing, and soap made from black olives leaves you with a strange, unguarded calm that carries through the rest of the day. And then there is mint tea. Moroccan mint tea is not a beverage, it is a practice. It is poured from a height to create foam, returned to the pot, poured again. It is served hot, sweet, and in abundance. It is how conversations start, and how deals are sealed, and how time is measured in the older parts of the Medina. You will drink a great deal of mint tea in Marrakech. you will not object. Marrakech is not a city that asks you to relax. It asks you to pay attention, to stay present in a way that many modern cities have stopped demanding. The Medina is not optimized. It is not efficient. It is alive in a way that planned places rarely are, shaped by centuries of use rather than a single act of design. By your last day, the labyrinth will feel less like confusion and more like texture. You will find your way to the square without looking at a map. You will know which stall has the best olives. You will have a favorite Riad courtyard where you drink your morning coffee in quiet. And you will understand then what the overwhelming was for. It was asking you to arrive fully. Total words: 875. Estimated runtime at 140 WPM. 6:15. Photo count needed: 10 images. Music: insert Sean's cue, cinematic, North African, atmospheric. TTS voice: warm, measured, slight gravitas.